I'm your host, Jeff Sart. We're going to take you behind the scenes with the craft distillers who are pouring their heart and soul into crafting the next version of America's spirit. This is the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Kenny and Ryan of Pursuit Spirits are making a name for themselves with their unique blends, and this is one of those that really takes the cake. Rye Whiskey, finished in Sherry French Revere Oak. You want to get this while you can. Welcome to this edition of the Great American Whiskey Cookers. We are here in Louisville, Kentucky at Pursuit Spirits, and I'm standing with Kenny and Ryan, the owners of Pursuit Spirits, and we are tasting through a number of your whiskeys. So tell me what we're going to taste next.
The next one we're going to do is our United Rye, but finished with Sherry French Revere Oak. And I know the first thing you're thinking is, Kenny, what the hell does Revere mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Exactly. Believe me, we get this all the time. So before we get into that, I'll kind of talk about some of our finishing processes and how we've landed on this.
Okay.
So when we do a lot of our experiments, we are working with what's called the oak alternative market. These are different types of stave finishes. They're using cubes, we're doing barrel inserts, a lot of different things. And most people get a little concerned. They're like, this sounds gimmicky. I would never even think about doing this. And then I tell people, well, have you ever had Maker's 46 before? They're like, yeah. I was like, okay, so you've had oak alternatives because they use staves that go inserted into tanks, and that's how they achieve their flavor profile. This is something that's been around the wine world for generations. It's relatively new in the whiskey world, but it's becoming a little bit more ubiquitous. So when we work with our different partners for different stave finishes, we do anywhere between 30 to 50 different small scale tests to figure out what's gonna work well with our whiskey. Because we have an opportunity to test a bunch of different types of staves, whether they're tequila, rum, rye, sherry, port, like you name it, we've tested them all with our different types of whiskeys.
Okay.
So it took, again, about 3 to 6 months of just continually going through, iterating, testing, and figure out which is gonna work. When we started with our rye whiskey inside of our, what we call our oak collection or our kind of finished type of category, we had to figure out, well, what's gonna work well, but what's not gonna be overpowering. What we really love about the alternative market is that when we look at this particular type of offering, because it's coming from a pre-used sherry barrel, if you were to order a sherry barrel and have it shipped here, you have the ability for it to degrade. It could get contaminated. Mm-hmm. It could have leftover sherry remnants left into it, which if you were to just add rye to it, then at that point, is my sherry just blended with rye? Or vice versa, rye blended with sherry? We want to make sure that we really highlight the whiskey. We want the whiskey to really be a showcase. And when we utilize our finishing methods, we really want the blend to shine through.
Okay.
That allows us to, again, have this little subtle nuance, but it's not an overpowering flavor. So our United Rye finished with Sherry French Oak Revere. This is 36-month air-dried staves. That's what Revere stands for. From French oak barrels that once held sherry. So that's what's here. So cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So it's the same base blend that we use, but we also pick particular barrels that stand up and complement the sherry finish. So to me, I try to find barrels that are a little bit more robust, more spicy, because the sherry is going to add a little bit more kind of like vanilla cream, but also like that dried fruit notes. So a lot of times when I drink our sherry finished product, I get a lot of like cherry cola, root beer kind of float flavors on it.
Right.
So it just kind of mellows it out, but adds a lot of depth to it as well.
Yeah. There's not
This is great.
Yeah. There's not, when you taste it, there's not gonna be a whole lot of whiskeys that you're like, oh wow, that tastes like Dr. Pepper or sassafras, and you truly get that on the end of this.
I get the cherry cola.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even drink cola. Not anymore. I don't drink.
Bring back your challenge.
There you go.
Yeah, it does.
We cut off carbonated beverages in my household too, so I know what it's like.
Yeah. But yeah, I get that cherry cola. It's sweet still. It's got a great mouthfeel.
Yes.
I love how it sits in my mouth and covers my palate. That's really good.
Yeah. And this is great neat, but I promise you, this makes one of the best old fashions or best Manhattans on the market.
Really?
Yes. That sherry finish just really amplifies, gives layers of flavor. to an old fashioned that you just don't get out of other spirits.
And with a Manhattan, it really pairs well with a vermouth because that vermouth has that medicinal cherry taste to it sometimes, and so it really kind of helps tone it and bring it together.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. I love it. Where do they find you online and their products?
Yeah, so you can find all of our Pursuit products. First, go to our website at pursuitspirits.com. You can find all of our distributed states through there. Just scroll down a little bit until you see the Buy Now button. You'll find that there as well. But we also have a retail partner, so if you're not one of our distributed states, you can't find us on the store shelves. They can be shipped to around 40 states across the U.S. If you're traveling here to Kentucky to go and visit the Bourbon Trail, make sure you stop and see us at Pursuit Spirits, again, here in Louisville, Kentucky. Hit the Visit Now button, and you can go and take part of one of our great experiences that we are running through here. If you want to find out more about how we got started, how we built this, how we are all inclusive of everybody inside the industry. We started a podcast a long time ago, and that's how this was built, called Bourbon Pursuit, on all major platforms. And then you can also listen to Behind the Pursuit, because we hate free time and we wanted to find another way to talk about how we're building a bourbon brand and what it's like to see all the highs and lows and everything in between.
Yep. Fantastic. As you can tell, these guys got it going on. They got their hands in all sorts of stuff. So until next time, I'm Jeff for the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Can't be good?
Be good at it.
See ya.
A lot of bottles that we get sent to
To taste.
review and taste from everybody. Obviously, we can't get to it all. So this is the bottles that we try for whiskey quickies and reviews, and then we have a whole nother room of bottles and stuff that get sent to us. So we got enough bottles for about 10 pandemics.